This is one of the videos I plan to create for a long time now, and it's about Maria Farmer being right about everything she said. Actually, everything she's saying now for almost 5 years since, actually 6 years, since 2020. Uh, Around April. This was the podcast with her done by Whitney Webb, so-called investigative journalist. I'm not going into detail why so-called. Kirby Summers explained that in her one of her videos. Who is actually Whitney Webb? That she's from wealthy family. But I'm now focusing on things that Maria Farmer said for all these years, and that it turned out eventually that she was right about everything. So here in this video I will prove that Maria Farmer was right about her claim that Jeffrey Epstein was recording child pornography. The other things that she said has to do with how long Jeffrey Epstein operation was running, and it's 28 years with basically with no break. Even when she was in jail in 2008, even when Epstein was in jail in 2008, he was allowed work release, and he was still doing what he did before and after. So that's the second thing. Third thing is the number of victims. So Maria Farmer said there are thousands of victims. Only in Florida there are 500, so not 50, not 15, not 50, but 500 missing only in Florida per Brad Edwards. So Brad Edwards said that to her. I never read or heard that Brad Edwards said this in an interview, podcast, and so on. So this is something that he told her. So Brad Edwards told that Maria Farmer. So he told her that there are only in Florida 500 girls missing, and I think Maria Farmer mentioned that in this interview. This is one of the first interviews with Maria Farmer. I think that the only one who was before this interview was interview done by True News of that guy. I cannot remember now what's his name. Rick Wiles, yeah. So that's the third thing, number of victims, and fourth thing is, of course, the age of victims. It's not like mainstream media is telling that it's 14 years. So the youngest were 12, and I recently found out that actually youngest were even 11 years old. And that guy who wrote about Franklin scandal, he claims there were some victims who were under 10. Okay, so now I'm going to first show play this video of Pam Bondi. She is now Attorney General in new Trump's administration, and I really didn't know that her claim was her claim about child porn being reviewed by FBI. I wasn't aware that it was something that's secretly recorded. So this is one of those times when things got out of control, when they cannot be controlled, because Jeffrey Epstein operation, the whole thing is obviously a controlled breakout. And I mentioned that so many times, but I will repeat again. Maria Farmer is the most important the most important, not the most popular, unfortunately, the most important Jeffrey Epstein victim, because she knows, she holds the key who is behind this operation. And it's not Les Wexner, there is someone above him. Les Wexner was main person orchestrating everything in US, but there is someone above him. So they, Ghislaine or Ghislaine told her that because she was, Maria was working for them as a receptionist, and she was acquiring art for Epstein. So that was the time when operation was starting in beginning of the 90s, and they were obviously not cautious about what they will tell her. Maybe they expected she will be their helper, like that global girl Nadia Marcinko or Marchinko. I really don't know what's her real surname. So Maria Farmer also is the one who first reported Epstein to FBI in 1996, and she is talking about that here in these two pieces of the same interview. Interview was, I think, it was 16th of April 2020. As I said, I'm going to I was just searching this. So I noticed this, although this was in May, Pam Bondi's secretly recorded admission of FBI reviewing thousands of child pornography. I saw video about that, the video that I'm about to play, I don't know, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I wasn't aware of this, although this was in May, around May 7, as Washington Times here is writing about. So, of course, some are reporting now, 6 days ago, but I think May 7 is around that time. This is when it happened. I also want to mention this. So Serbian Times is also writing about that. Serbian Times is news portal of Serbian and Balkans diaspora. I think I pronounced it properly. So I'm just showing first search result page, and I'm going to play this one. This is Newsweek. If you pair it with this one, so it's 9th of May 2025, this year. So Belgrade time, 7th of July, 2025 is now early in the morning. So that was a reference, time reference. Sometimes I miss this, but since I have I usually show videos like this one, then I can get the time reference. Okay, so now let's play this video of new Attorney General Pamela Pam Bondi by Newsweek. So this is not AI generated. So this is interesting. When I try this, it's not available. I want to see the date when it's posted by, but it's around 9th of May 2025. Okay, so let's reload it and start from beginning.
All the Epstein files are missing. We still haven't heard from you.
No, the FBI, the FBI, they're reviewing, there are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going through that. I haven't seen that statement.
James Comer said yesterday that all the Epstein files are missing.
Yeah, it's May 7th, the 7th of May 2025. Okay, C-SPAN, okay. Yeah, so that's it. As far as I know, Director of FBI, that guy, I think his name is Pat or whatever, said that this is not true, that she's lying. So as far as I understood how judicial system works, she's above him, but unbelievable. I mean, it's not funny. Okay, so let's play these parts from an interview related to the child pornography. So again, this is interview with Maria Farmer done by Whitney Webb. So I'm using obviously transcripts.
Right. I know that you know.
Yeah, for some reason, I mean, it really helps them to oppress all the truth, you know? So as much as they can with where it all began, they're going to keep it quiet, you know? And the FBI, Whitney, is so much an evil, I mean, I can't even explain to you how abusive the effing BI is. It's unbelievable to me. I mean, they, first of all, never offered me witness protection. And when I first called them, they knew I was telling, believe me, they knew they knew everything I was telling them. They already knew because they're in on it. And it was so weird, his reactions when I was talking to him, you know, I called and I got some answer guy, and then he passes me to some guy who's like, when I start talking about Wexner, you know, and I asked the guy, do you have, this is all over the phone in 1996. I said, do you have a file on Les Wexner? And he said, why? And I said, he's the head of the snake in this, in America. And I don't even know I was intuiting this. Just, and also, I think it's common sense when you see all the stuff going on. And anyway, when I said that to him, he said, yeah, I don't know, maybe we do. And I said, well, these people are using child pornography, and they've stolen photographs of my sisters. That right there would have been life in prison for Jeffrey and Ghislaine. I still have the envelopes with their touch DNA and fingerprints on them, and the FBI will not take them from me. They never would. They would never take the envelopes that they stole. I mean, they photographs out of these envelopes, and I have proof. I still have the envelopes, Whitney. And the FBI was like, yeah, no, we don't need that. They also knew in 1996 that I'd been trafficked and Annie had been trafficked, and that would have been enough to put them away. But they never cared. They didn't care. And the worst part was I named everybody. I named Donald Trump. I named everyone who I thought was a co-conspirator at the time. So I named like Alan Dershowitz, Donald Trump, absolutely the Clintons. These are people that I saw coming and going that I knew were part of it. And I made it really clear that this is a very scary thing for children and that I see between 5 and 10 girls a day going upstairs. And now that I know what's happening to them, I want it stopped. And the weirdest part was like at Wexner's, I was held under guard. I wasn't even allowed. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, totally.
Hello?
I just don't want to interrupt you.
Okay, so make sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah, I was held under guard. So when I first got there, this guy named Randy Bowie was there to show me around. And I got there in a Ryder truck with someone who
This is
is
when
an
you were
acquaintance,
contracted
not
to
even
do
a great friend.
the mural at Wexner's mansion? This is what you're talking about?
Oh yeah, so here's the other thing. I had actually told him, I had told Epstein because I was really grossed out by them, I said, just the way they behaved, they were so ostentatious and like nouveau riche, like always buying things and all about things, especially Ghislaine, and she would always scream at me. She was very verbally abusive. I have a lot to tell you about her, a lot. I know her very, very well. I would say Virginia and I are the only two that really know her, and I know her well. I lived around her for a year, like lived in all of their houses with them. And so, oh my gosh, that woman is the most dangerous asset for Israel that you can even imagine. I mean, she is so dangerous. And she grew up with the royals. Like, she showed me all the photo albums, but I'll get back to that. But anyway, just basically, the Wexners held me. This guy, Randy Bowie, shows up, and he says, oh, hey, you're going to really love it here. And he's like, and Abigail's going to call you in a minute and welcome you here. And she's really excited about it. So the deal was I had taken a project from this guy who's a director, James Brooks. He's a director of like a lot of films. I think he did The Simpsons. He does a lot of stuff. And I liked a lot of his work. And he did the movie As Good as It Gets. And it was supposed to be a small project. It wasn't even going to be a big deal. And so he had asked Eric Fischel to do the paintings for the movie. And Eric Fischel said, you know what? I have someone that I'm too busy right now, but I know someone who would love that opportunity. And he handed it to me. And I talked to James Brooks on the phone, and he said, okay, I'm going to take a look at your work, then we'll decide. He picked me. And then
Okay, so that was the first part. I played some other things which are also important, especially the one mentioning Trump, that Maria Farmer reported Trump to FBI in 1996 as most prominent Jeffrey Epstein client, and Maria Farmer not here for you. Daily Mail. Here it is. So Maria explained here that what the hell? She explained here that that Donald Trump went to visit Epstein. It was 9 o'clock, and as you can see in pictures at that time, that was 1995, Maria Farmer looked way younger than she is. She was 25, but she looked like a teenager. And he saw her, and then she was running and her legs were exposed, and DA Trump watched her as she was his meal. This is what Maria Farmer said. So again, it was 9 p.m. In the evening, offices were empty. She was called by Epstein to do some things for him, I don't know. And then Epstein enters the room, the office, and said to Jeffrey Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein said to Donald Trump, she's not here for you. It should be, she's not here for you, and I think there is a video about that. There is another piece of Daily Mail where I think, yeah, you see, I think this is 1995. And that's not that's not the article where she's telling what happened, but she mentioned that in a video with the DA. She described the whole thing, what happened with Donald Trump. It was homes with palace, something like that. Palace. She described that in a video with the interview done by Jason Bermas, whatever. And maybe I should play this. So Jason Bermas, Maria Farmer, YouTube. Yeah, that's it. I just want to finish up with this because
Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here, and this may be the most important interview I've ever done, or...
Okay, so I'm not going to, of course, play the whole thing. I'm just searching for Trump here. Yeah, here it is. So she's now talking here about Trump.
But so I was already, but I didn't know, I thought he was a game show host. So when I reported him to the FBI, I said, you know that game show host Donald Trump, he was also there. And they were like, the game show, you mean, okay. Anyway, yeah. So he was so cheesy. And, ugh, all these people, that was the other thing, they were all just so cheesy. But yeah, I met Donald Trump at Jeffrey Epstein's office. It was like, you know, I'd been working there just a few days, and it was nighttime. And Jeffrey called me to come up there. And I had to jog because I was broke. And so I'm wearing my jogging pants and I'm super skinny, but my legs are exposed because, I'm wearing pants that, shorts, running shorts. And Donald Trump walks in. It's 9 o'clock at night. It's a dark office. Epstein's in his part of the office. And Donald Trump walks in, and I'm seated right here. And he walks in and leans against this wall, and he's just looking at my legs like they're his lunch. And honestly, I was just a really average-looking person. I'm like, a normal person in art school. I'm thinking, what is this? Is the grossest guy? And he's like, kind of, like looking at me like, hey, laughing. And I made the ugliest face. I went, and Epstein walked in, and Epstein goes, no, she's not here for you. Like whispers it to him, she's not here for you. And he escorts Trump to this other room. Who was in there? I don't know. I don't know if anyone was in there, but I thought that was really creepy. She's not here for you. Here, go in here a minute. I don't know if he had him wait until our meeting was over. Honestly, I don't know. But that was my first encounter with him. It was very unpleasant. I told everyone always that game show host Donald Trump made me feel like I was his lunch or dinner.
Now, you've talked about Ivana and Ghislaine being like buddy and actually
they were
recruiting
very good
girls.
friends. Very, very good friends. So here's what happened. I figured out, like in the divorce, I guess, Jeffrey got Donald and Ghislaine got Ivana because they were always around. This is in 1995. I would love for them to deny it because it's a fact and there are lots of pictures. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people don't understand how involved she was in his business. She was in the offices. She was very much involved in Trump Towers and all that stuff. So it wasn't like she was just on his arm. She was actually trying to make herself part of this dynasty at the time. So it doesn't surprise me. When I first started covering this, so many people wanted to be in denial that Trump had anything to do with him. But if you read James Patterson's Filthy Rich, it was apparent that they had a relationship, whether they had a falling out later or not. And if you had looked at some of the media out there earlier than, I think, 2010, he was calling him a great guy and telling him he broke the cardinal rule by being late to go on his plane with his current wife right now, Melania. And people would discount that. But it's it's not discountable. You've talked about several people who Epstein was in business with other than Wexner, where he made his money. Tell us about that.
People where he made his money? I thought, to me, I think the only people that, he told me his only client was Les Wexner.
So he wasn't in business with Trump and Gates? Because it seems like he...
Yes. But I didn't know about that.
No, not at the time. It was until later?
I didn't know about that. I did know that I overheard them talking about Gates like he was one of their buddies in 1995, right? So, and the only reason I paid attention is because I had gone to school in the Silicon Valley when it was first opening up at this little school, Santa Clara University, and it was right on our campus. The whole Silicon Valley exploded. And so I always heard about Bill Gates, like everyone worshipped him, like he was just this god or something. And so when I heard the name, I thought, wow, they really do know these powerful people. This is a little bit scary, right? I think my phone's ringing. Sorry. Yeah. So turn it off here.
So let's also talk about the other women that basically said to you that they were kidnapped. We know.
Okay, so that was it. I needed to wrap up the whole thing about Donald, Donny boy. Now I'm going to play the second part of the same interview, which also mentions this very scary thing, child porn.
Beat me, but man, she was verbally violent like I have never known. Other than Eileen Guggenheim, the two of them are the most vicious bitches I've ever spoken to in my life. Wow. They could cut you down, and it was so morally devastating. You just felt useless as a human being when you were told you're nothing because you're not Jewish, you're stupid, you're useless, a useless white girl, a poor little peasant. Just the things that I was called, I was just like, I believed it, because it was like a cult. And the only thing that woke me up, Whitney, was when I was being assaulted somehow, well, the whole time I was being assaulted, I was thinking, oh, dear God, these people have been with my sister. Where is my sister? She's in Thailand. I don't think my sister, I thought she was dead. So I had that, and then it hit me that they had taken my photographs somehow. I knew when I was being assaulted. Somehow I knew they were pedophiles. All of a sudden, it hit me. Like everything made sense. All pieces fit together. And I ran downstairs the morning after they left, and I felt too, and I had such everything so organized. I knew exactly which pictures were what. And the reason I went to the FBI was because they should have been put away for life for child pornography. It should have been the end of it, right there. Boom. That's it. And it was I have proof, and they would never take my proof. No one would take the envelopes that I still have here that my lawyers are going to take, and they're going to make them fingerprint. Because we know Ghislaine, I know it was Ghislaine that got the pictures. I don't even think Jeffrey was smart enough to know I would have hidden them, you know? And it was all locked. All my stuff was locked, and it was very well organized, which you wouldn't expect for an artist. So I had everything numbered and lettered. And so, like, they stole picture A3 and I was able to go through and know exactly which envelopes they were taken out of, and I panicked, and I called Jeffrey's office, and I said, they are they have stolen my art and made it into child pornography and my reference pictures, and I want them back, and they hung up on me. And then a girl from his office called me, Whitney, and said, he has those pictures in his briefcase. He's using them. And she hung up. And I had to know that, like, those are my sisters. Okay, so one of the pictures was my one sister who was 12. She was 12. And Annie was 15 in the two pictures he took of her. 15. And they were totally nude. And they were just like the kind of shots, like they would walk through the room and I would just take pictures. And then I would, put clothes on them in the paintings. But I was studying the anatomy. And sometimes I would just have it be like really casual, half clothes, half, I was studying anatomy. Then I never did that again because, it was used against me in the biggest way ever. So.
Okay, so that was it. Maria Farmer also mentioned here 12 years as the youngest victim, and there are other people who confirmed that, people who were not helping Epstein but knew a lot about him. So this is another thing that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. So that would be it. I think that Maria didn't mention here this meeting quoted with unpleasant meeting with Donald Trump at Holmesley, I think it's Holmesley Palace in New York. I think it's New York. Where Jeffrey Epstein offices were located, but she mentioned that, as I just played in Jason Berman's interview podcast and in interview with the guy from True News. So maybe there are some other interviews where she mentioned that, but and there are probably there are some interviews that I heard just parts. I never was able to find the whole interview, so I'm sure she mentioned that a lot of other times, but I think this is more than enough just to show True News. I think that they were the first one, Rick Wiles, who interviewed Maria Farmer. Okay, so that was it. Very, very disturbing and scary, terrifying. People are outraged about this. Everyone who knows not that much, but basic stuff about Epstein is outraged, and this is only beginning of the beginning. So what piece of shit from mainstream media are hiding is that this is international case, and that all international institutions are deeply involved in this, in the first place UN, those pieces of shit from UN, then of course Interpol, Europol, OSCE, and all those in organizations who should help children and people in general. So this is what they are hiding for 5 years now, since actually 6 years since it's 2019, in end of 2018 when this became the primetime news, Jeffrey Epstein, and he really became primetime news when he was arrested in 2019. I think it was July. I just mentioned in one of videos uploaded yesterday that Maria Farmer was, I think this one, that Jeffrey Epstein was CIA. Maria Farmer was working with Cyrus Vance Jr., who was DA in New York, and he was also in charge of Harvey Weinstein case. So she was working on with Cy Vance, this is how she calls him, on Jeffrey Epstein's arrest. So this is very important. I will create a separate video on that because I need one more reference on Cyrus Vance Jr. He is the son, I think, of Cyrus Vance, diplomat who was involved in negotiations during civil war in former Yugoslavia in the 90s. Okay, so that would be it. It's very strange that nobody is, I mean, it's not funny. Nobody from mainstream media is mentioning Maria Farmer anymore because she's, what she knows is very, very dangerous. I watched today, I can actually see the history. Where is it? It should be here. History. What the hell? Maybe I should go to my channel. Probably it's there. I just watched I think this is her recent interview. And that other girl who was Jeffrey Epstein victim, Marike or something like that. So you can see here, I mean, everyone would thought that this is also one of the latest interviews with Maria. I know who is this guy, Crazy Days and Nights. I also don't know if there is part 2, so let's see.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the...
So this is February this year, and there is the what the hell? And there is this other interview. Yeah, here there is Maria Farmer. Here, there she is, and this is Marike. I think that it's here in the description.
What if your website's success was only limited by one single thing?
Shut up. Okay. Maria Farmer and Marike. Yeah. So this was May this year. And why is this important? I'm mentioning this now because a lot of people are trying to destroy Maria Farmer's credibility. In the first place, that piece of shit psycho, the guy is a real psycho, real monster, and he's on federal FBI probation. So FBI did it, he became friends with Maria Farmer, then he betrayed her right when Maria started working with Jennifer Freeman, a lawyer, on class lawsuit related to FBI. So she was suing, planned to sue FBI. Then I heard that she's suing federal government because they did nothing in 1996. The other one who is trying to destroy her credibility is, of course, that piece of shit lady quoted Victoria Harvey, stupid bitch and moron, with her pumped lips. I mean, it's disgusting. And then another stupid piece of shit, Lucia, or whatever, Alton Crowley, and some other moron. I will create a separate video on that. Another piece of shit. I think that all of them are from Britain, which is not surprising. Yeah, this guy Georgetown, stupid fuck. So there are probably some other people. Of course, Maria Farmer did really stupid things because she believed that guy. But when she figured out what's happening, she admitted that she made a mistake, that he tricked her in telling a lot of private stuff. Then he made this public. The guy is real piece of shit. I have a video, separate video on this moron and disgusting degenerate. The guy is extremely stupid. So this video and the previous one, that crazy days and nights guy, proved that Maria Farmer's credibility is not destroyed. People are still interested in her, and simply they cannot destroy her credibility. I created video some time ago, I think last year, about some accusations by Johnny Vedmer. He's investigative journalist. So I can just search Vedmer. There it is. And as you can see, I really was trying to gather all the important facts. So he was accusing Maria Farmer of certain things, and I needed to investigate. So I did it, and people are watching this video. Oh yeah, I forgot this stupid bitch. She's she lives in US, but she's in the she's from UK. Vicky Ward, real piece of shit. If she did her job in the 90s, then everything would be over at that time. And of course, if FBI did their job, I will create another video on Vicky Ward, where one guy who is investigative journalist, I think his surname is Webb, I think it's George Webb, who explained, he explained in one of the podcasts with some guy, I don't know his name, he explained that, so George Webb explained who is who is really Vicky Ward, or more precisely, who is her father. So George Webb, I think that.
You want to know what it's like to be a victim of Jeffrey?
No, that's not it. Journalist. Yeah, I think this is the guy. Can I open this? Yeah, that's the guy. So I will create a separate video on Vicky Ward, where this guy explained. Of course, I will reference to videos I some of them I created, one of them I created yesterday, and the other one is created some time ago, last year. So I will reference these. I think there are 2 videos here. Yeah, these 2. I think these 2 videos. Just a second. About WikiWord, actually 3 videos. And this one, maybe even this one. So this should be actually something like 5 videos. I will refer to these videos as well, because they are sort of introduction to who WikiWord really is, or more precisely, as I said, who is her father. So this is I included in this video some information which are not really strictly closely related to the topic. So topic was that Maria Farmer, this will be the name of this video. Maria Farmer was right about child pornography. So Pam Bondi just confirmed that in her secretly recorded admission, secretly recorded statement. This is what I figured out, that it's secretly recorded. I don't know if it can be, if you can figure out from that video I played, music video I played at the beginning of this video, but this is what I read, if I figured it out correctly. So that this was secret, and again, I think that Director of FBI said he's lying, something like that, which is again unbelievable, because she's above him. At least this is what I think about the hierarchy of judicial system in the US. Okay, so that would be it. I really needed to include some stuff to and that introduction, of course, at the beginning of this video. So I hope that should not be a problem. I mean, the topic is complex, so I really cannot do much about it. So that was about Maria Farmer. This is first in a row of the videos about Maria Farmer being right about on everything she was claiming for 6 years now.